Shall we play a game?
Okay. Here we go. We're gonna try this. It crashed on me last stream, and then had an issue getting it back going. So I didn't bother with it since it was close to whenever I mean, as long as a stream. I mean, it was shorter, but whatever. Here we go. Hopefully, I can finish this fucking game. Actually, don't even. Okay, yeah, okay. That's it. I wonder what it is to draw. Oh. Holy shit. I gotta time that? I doubt Crouch. Maybe Crouch would do it? I wonder if it would or not. Holy shit. Oh no! Had it. Dang it. I moved. I didn't think I moved. It's basically jump on it and then jump. All right, get on the zip line and jump off. Okay, here we go. God dang it, it is. It's basically... Shit. God damn, how many times is it going to take me to get that? It's basically like zip and then jump. Let's see. Too much, too soon. A little too quick. Damn, it's a guy.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Probably shouldn't be talking to him. I got shit to do.
Friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them? You're toying with me, right? You're a bit like... Oh, Sisyphus. Sisyphus was forcing him to... Tantalus. Oh, and anyway.
Yeah, I already know this. I already went through this.
Oh, now, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Okay, come here. No, too. God damn it. Shit. I wonder if it's jumping. Or I wonder if it's just E. Let's see. Well, E does it too, actually. God damn. So E. Well, whenever they start shooting, I'll be ready because I'll be standing right next to the opening. God. Okay. That seems too hard to jump. Land on. I wonder if I could land on the other spots and climb up. No, God. Shit. Oh. Save. Save that shit. Where's the Glarus go? He's going down here, wasn't he? Go give it to him. Okay, actually, I can't remember now. Did I miss him? Oh, right, he just respawned.
I saw you slide down that rope before. Very impressive. And strange, too, since that device... Oh, of course. Anyway, I'm sorry to ask, but well, it's too steep to climb, so do you think... Really? You already have it? I picked it up in a previous loop, I suppose. It's gonna take me a while to get my head around that. This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. Now I just have to figure out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment we met. But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be... terrible. You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive. Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. But at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful. I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what to do. What do you think? What would you do? Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear how crazy it is. I think maybe I need to be a bit more cautious. What I need is a go-between. Someone who can tell her how I feel and find out how she feels without risking her life. What do you say? Do you think you could help me one more time? Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her I'll keep my distance and that I just want her to know that she's loved. Thank you. Come back as quick as you can and tell me what she says.
Equity. Equifax. Yeah.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh, how lovely. It just happens to be my favorite, too. Who do I have to thank for this? I see. So, it's from Galerius, then? Of course I do. I think everyone in the city knows. That man is a wonderful human being, and my favorite person in the world. But he is the least subtle secret admirer you could imagine. The way he looks at me with those puppy dog eyes. Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this flower. He went to so much effort, too. Suspending that rope above the lake, inventing that pulley device all on his own. He'd just stand there each morning, looking at the flower, trying to summon the courage to seize it. Oh, my heart. Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So, if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind waiting a few years, then tell him I love him too. I hope so. Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else? Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else? There are definitely... Keep up Livia's fate. And did you notice anything? Come.
Be going. I need to catch Galerius. Run, 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 run.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend. Now, what's on your mind? Thanks. What did she say? Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how happy you've made me. I wish there was something I could do to thank you properly, but I don't have much to offer you. All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be interested in. In the rock tunnel near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you can see a chest. Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path, and I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might be a small fortune waiting for you. I hope that helps in some way. I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never gonna do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the elections stitched up. Nobody's gonna take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. And that's good enough for me. And how could you... Oh, wait. You've seen it in another time loop, haven't you? Well, in that case, we need to find a way to make sure Malleolus loses. Better yet, get him to withdraw altogether. If you can do that, and Sentius is the only candidate left, I'll run against him. Deal? All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Hey, so where's that other guard? About to turn.
Like a fresh luck, back in the slaughtered bed, torment, cut a bed, rock a lava bed, torment.
What the F are you doing in here?
Hey, Bim. Yeah, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I did a little, not rage, but it did piss me off because what happened was, OBS, I guess OBS, I don't know what, I don't know what triggered it, but I think I went outside my game and I did something, which then OBS, I don't know what happened first, but then my Razer software crashed on me. That's why it was freaking out. The game didn't crash, so that wasn't the issue. I think Razer Synapse software messed up, which then I exited out of that, came back, and then I noticed OBS crashed. And then I was like, oh, shit. Excuse me. Then I did all that stuff. I restarted, and when I did, OBS looked like it looked like it crashed again. So I was like, screw it. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna guess, and it's probably what I did. Did you get Hogwarts? But yeah, it just kind of, yep. Yep, I did too. I actually did too. Well, I mean, well, real quick, I'll finish on this. So it just pissed me off. So I was like, screw it. I'm not going to worry about it. because I figured I might need to restart my computer, and I didn't want to do all that and then try to fight to get back on and then only stream for like 20 more minutes type of thing, or 30 more minutes. So I was like, screw it. And real quick, that was how you get down, is you have to jump the zip rope. So I'm just leading you up to where I'm at right now. I jumped down, I got the flower, gave it to Galerius. Then I went and talked to Equity, then went back and talked to Galerius, because that's who he has a crush on, or that's who he loves. And so anyway, that's that on that one. Real quick. So me and Gree were playing Tribes of Midgard, because we play a lot of co-op games when we can. We used to play a lot more, but we don't play as much. But we were kind of coming to the end of that one. And so, beating all the bosses and stuff. And so, we were kind of looking at something else, and we were like, oh, well, look at this game. This is like a survival / build game, whatever. And so we checked it out, and it wasn't much. It was like $18 or something like that, $17 or something. Yeah, you have to jump down, like you're on the zip line and you go, and it's like you're only on it for a few seconds, and you jump, and you got to time it, and then you'll land on it, and then you can grab the flower. Yeah. So, because I was like, there's got to be a way that has to be the flower, and so I kept right on this stream. I did it, and then I hit like spacebar to jump, and I noticed I'd let go of the thing, and I was like, okay, so I just got to time it right. But so we got this game and we played it, and it was kind of a little too, nothing against Wii games, but, and it got overwhelmingly positive reviews and stuff, but it's not a game I'm feeling right now. So me and Gree talked about it, and Gree was like, yeah, I think I'm going to refund it. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea, because neither one of us played enough of it, because you had to do this like play, and then you could join in with friends or whatever. Anyway, he had already got Hogwarts, and so he was telling me, he was like, he goes, I can honestly say, he goes, I know you don't pay full price for games, he goes, but I could honestly say this is worth the money. And so I was like, oh man, I knew you were going to say it because it looks so nice, and it just looks cool. And then he mentioned about the refund, and I was like, oh, you know what? Here's the gaming logic comes in, Bim. I was like, oh, you know what? If I refund that game, that's going to be $18 that's going to go in my Steam wallet. So in reality, Hogwarts will only cost $42. And that's usually my limit, or not limit, but like, unless I really, really want a game. But I mean, I'll be more willing to pay like that, like $39. I don't have or $40. I don't have an issue with, but if I really want the game, then I'll pay $49 bucks for it. But like $59, I hardly ever pay that. So that was my gaming logic mind, my gaming mind, making logical sense out of it, or I was like, yeah, that's it. I'm only paying $42 for it. Anyway, so I hadn't got a chance to mess with it because I needed it to get in my wallet. And I will say, I will give this to Steam. Steam, they'll do it, then they'll put it in pending, and then it'll sit there saying, this money is pending. And it said you should receive it 24 hours. In 24 hours. And I'm not joking. Like 3:45 is when I refunded it, or 3:45 Central Time. And when I went and checked, like at 3:48, 3:50, I checked before and it was still pending. When I went and checked at like 345, 348, 350, somewhere around there, it was in my wallet. I'm like, holy shit. All right. Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go ahead and before I start streaming, I'll purchase it and get it downloaded. Then after I stream it, I'll play it and check it out. Because the big thing is me and Gree, we're curious on what how. Yeah, Gree really likes it too. He said it's a massive, like it's so big, it's so much bigger than he thought it was going to be, just like the I guess the school or whatever. And then he said it's just cool. He's like, it feels authentic, like it's immersive. The graphics are beautiful. And he said it actually goes to his resolution, which he has a 49 inch. I think he has a 49 inch. So he has a 50, whatever it is, 50. 1920. It's 5,000 something by 1440. Mine's 3440 by 1440. Mine's a 34 inch, but he had a 49 inch. He's actually able to get that resolution. He says it's gorgeous. Yeah, that's what he said. He said it's so nice. And he said, because very few games give him that resolution. Assassin's Creed Valhalla did. And he said it's just beautiful if the game can give you that resolution. Anyway, so that's what he's curious to know what I get sorted into. I don't know. I didn't really read the books. I did watch the movies several times. But I don't know a ton about like the lore and stuff. I mean, just from the movies pretty much. But it was funny because I said, you don't even have to tell me where you got sorted into. And he goes, where? And I was like, it's Slytherin. And he started laughing. And he goes, how'd you know that? And I said, because I know, dude, you're going to be a Slytherin. And he goes, all right, fine. I'm going to tell you, you're going to be Gryffindor. And I was like, I don't think I am. So we're curious of where I'm going to get sorted. I have a weird feeling. Like I said, I don't know enough about the whole houses and stuff. But for some reason, I got this feeling I'm going to be like Ravenclaw or something. I don't know. But anyway, I found it hilarious that he was Slytherin. Because he'll have a lot of times he'll have a tendency to play his characters, a lot of his characters, more along the, like he walks a fine line on the evil side. Not saying Slytherins are evil or whatever. I mean, there's a hint of bad to him. Anyway, that's how he plays a lot of his characters. So yeah, I thought it was funny.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not? Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day. The name's Domitius.
I'm looking forward to it, BM, to be honest.
Go through me. Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why. You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners. Do I seem like anonymous threats in my style? You don't know Sturkus. Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us?
Yeah, I'm real curious Bim. Like, I want to get through with this game. It's kind of bad in a way because I don't want to rush it, but I do want to get through with it and start another game and stream it to see if I run into the same issues. Because it's gonna worry me if it's OBS and like, because I will say this, before I started streaming and I had OBS and stuff, or I had the earlier versions of OBS, it would crash on me while I was testing stuff before and then at one point it got real stable, and that's when I started streaming, and it's been stable ever since. But the thing is, I never updated it. Are you helpful? I didn't even ask you. Well, actually, I wasn't sure if you started yet, but I should have known that you did because you said it's a beautiful world. Yeah, that's what Gree told me. Gree told me that he told me that same thing, that he's like, yeah, I think they only, like, certain houses only have access to certain things, so it creates a big replayability on it. And he mentioned that when he was like, sort of like Hufflepuff is the only one that gets access to Prisoner of Azkaban quest and stuff.
I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected. He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see. 'Cause if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans, and we can't have that. We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem. When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see. She's not here. Had to carry her to Lucretia's clinic this morning. Shrine of Apollo. She was acting sick. Faking it, if you ask me. Typical. Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
But real quick, the world is gorgeous, right? It looks, man, it looks so good. I can't wait to get in there and check it out. The other one was, I started laughing when I told Gree, or Gree started laughing at me. I said, you know, the last full price game I paid, no. The last full price game I paid was Cyberpunk, which I don't regret that one. I still liked Cyberpunk. I didn't have the issues that the console people did. Other than just the game itself and the weird ass physics of it. But I said, yeah, I did pay full price for the Division 2. And he started laughing. Like, yeah, I did pay full price for the Division 2. Eek. So is he going to stop me? Holy shit, I can get back here. Wait, was I supposed to do that? Oh no.
Thank you. I am delighted and...
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
Is it? Damn, you're gonna get me hyped up. You're gonna get me hyped up, Bim. Yeah, I'm kind of already hyped up to see it. It just looks so good. And Gree was saying how he thought he liked the way the combat was, and he liked the way just certain things. He just thought it was a well-made game.
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
And David Bowie. David Bowie has it too. I think David Bowie has it. Yeah, that's what Grease said the same thing, Bim. He said he played, we were supposed to get back on and play.
Well, I am not suffering from any delusions.
The Friday night
will firmly establish.
And when he told me what was happening, some of his wife's friend and her husband came by because they know Gree is a big gamer guy, and she doesn't play games or anything, but she's a massive Harry Potter fan, and so she came over to see if Gree got it. And the Gree was actually showing her, and or she started to watch him, and he started it because she was there, and he was like, I don't, because we were talking about it Saturday when he was telling me about the game, just like his impression of it, of like he thought his opinion that I should probably get it and stuff like that.
Because it simply isn't true. Now, was there something else you wanted?
Hold on,
are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
We'll see what happens here.
You fool.
Uh-oh.
The many shall suffer.
Uh-oh, here we go.
For the sins of the one.
Ooh. Oh no. Saving. Just in case I crashed, I haven't crashed. I haven't saved it in a bit. I figured it might trigger it, so I was like, screw it. No, I just threatened to kill him, and I guess that was enough. I don't know. It seems kind of weird that it would trigger that by me just threatening him. But I'll be right back. I'm going to refill my coffee. I'll be right back, Pim. Okay. I hadn't even been paying attention. My brother usually has a Super Bowl party. I think he's having one now. I don't know, but I haven't been the last few years. And but I'm hoping. I'm rooting for KC. I want Kansas City to win. Isn't Kansas City in it? The Chiefs and the Eagles. The reason being actually is because for some reason I've always liked KC. But I really liked them several years back. Yeah, see, I haven't either. Whenever I stopped playing fantasy football, which was about 4 years ago, I just didn't play. And then the other thing was, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think I have. Yeah, see, I am too. I'm rooting for KC. I'll tell you why here in a second. The reason, or at least for me, I rooted for the Houston Texans. I was never a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was actually a Houston Oilers fan. And there's a bunch of reasons why. I mean, I just liked Houston Oilers back then whenever I was growing up. One, Bum Phillips, who was the coach of Houston Oilers, I ended up loving him because he actually coached at my high school way early, way before me. And actually Wade, I think, was a quarterback at P&G where I went to school. And then he also coached at Nederland, which was close by. And actually when they play against each other, they call it Mid-County Madness. But they play for the Bum Phillips Bowl, Bum Phillips Bowl. Anyway, that was one of them. And then I loved Earl Campbell. Anyway, so your Oilers were a huge fan. So the second they went to Tennessee, it was like, I didn't go with it. Cause I hated Bud Adams anyway, but when he took him, then I just pretty much wrote him off. And then when the Texans came in, I rooted for him, but you know, I didn't have that. No way. Was it really? That's awesome. Yeah, that was, and it kind of just, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing was too, like certain things happened when I was young. They like Babe Zaharis golf course, where I live for Babe Didrikson, Zaharis, Babe Zaharis Didrikson. Is that it? I don't know. She was a badass athlete from our area that won all kinds of shit. Anyway, they used to have a golf tournament down here for the Bob Hope School. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did tell me that in New Mexico. So they had so the Oilers would come down. So I like, you get pictures with like Dan Pastorini and like, you know, so it was like, that's who I gravitated toward. Plus my parents always said root for the closest home team, you know? They were more like your home team. But anyway, but I never liked the Cowboys. So when they left, I still rooted for the Texans when they came back, but it was never the same because, you know, my team as a childhood growing up was gone. So even though I tried like to this is my team type thing. It never stuck. And then the Astros, this is a little less important, but I guess being a baseball person, it bugged me more. Believe me, I still like the Astros. I still root for them and stuff like that. But to me, when they went to the American League, something changed because it's like, it's not really my team. Like, it's not the team I grew up in. My Astros was in the National League, not the American League. So that bugged me for some reason, even though I still root for them. It's not the disconnect that the Oilers had, but there's still this, all my childhood teams aren't what they were whenever I grew up type thing. So anyway, so I don't really pay attention as much. Fantasy football was the only thing that even kept me watching sports or watching football was that. But anyway, the reason why I rooted for KC was one, that you're going to find this funny. I used to always play them on Madden because they had JJ Bird as a return guy and a wide receiver, and he was fast as fuck. And I loved running with him on Madden, Madden NFL on Sega. I think it was Sega. So I always played them. It's the same with like Detroit Red Wings, right? Never really watched that much ice hockey, but if we were watching ice hockey, I would root for Detroit Red Wings because that's who I played them at NHL in the Sega NHL. Anyway, so, but the reason recently why I rooted for KC big time was, I don't know when you kind of like, if you paid attention to Kansas City football or Chiefs or anything, but several years back, y'all had a running back named Jamal Charles. He was from our area. He's from Port Arthur. So he was from our area. And he went to UT, which I'm a University of Texas football fan, or I root for University of Texas. So he went there, so I rooted for him there. So he played at a high school close by, went to UT, I rooted for him there. So I just, you wanted to see a home kid do good type thing. So anyway, that's the reason I continued to root for him.
What the F are you doing in here?
Now, if it crashes, we know why, Bim, because it's been running smooth, and now Sours jumped in, and if it crashes, then we know why. Just kidding.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back? Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening. Yulia. Oh no.
Okay.
Poor girl. All right, let me see. I'll go.
Okay, so now I got to remember. I still need to keep talking to people. Vanishing Act. I need to go talk to UPS. So I asked those two. Let me go.
Hail to the king, baby.
Yeah.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Yeah, you thought you had me, huh, dog? You thought you had me, huh? Hang on, I'll be right back. Gotta use the restroom.
Again, with incessant labor, the water they have lost.
You're gonna be talking to me. Gotta use the restroom.
Much better.
Okay, that's only 3 I have.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia,
So-
would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own.
Okay, well, let me run. I'm not sure. I think I need more information to stop UPS. I think I already talked to him. Oh, I wonder if I set him up to do everything, if it's going to look good and people are going to like people are going to think that he did all of it, which then they would vote for him. I'm hoping I don't have to do that jump shit from the rope anywhere else, because I ain't joking. Thankfully, y'all weren't on, but took me a bit. Took me a little while to... Okay, so that's... So I need the key from Dole. That's Cynthia. So where does that lead? I've been over there.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome.
Okay.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Okay,
Please, Ulpius. Help him. Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
So I said this one. I'm supposed to stop him, but I don't think I've found out enough.
Know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact, and she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that. Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
I don't know if I have 2,000. And if I give it to him...
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then. You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers? It seems today we're both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
We do. And I'm one of them. One of the nicest guys in the entire world.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Oh, here we go.
Ah. And there it is. All right. Scintilla and I were in love.
I saved you. Yeah.
22 days ago. She went missing. All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus' villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me and she smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her. And from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was. Scintilla was the one thing that made my life bearable. But with her gone, things unraveled quickly. You saw how bad it got.
Why would I bluff?
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, she would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened?
No, see, that's where I got mistaken. I got mixed up, Bim. It's so him and the one.
My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the golden rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
Oh.
Let me know what you discover. I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. It was him and Yulia was the ones that tried to pay or tried to escape, and then Malleolus or whatever, made them servants or slaves or whatever, and but it's Scintilla, which is Cynthius, is that dude over there, his daughter that went missing. But I am curious because if it is Malleus,
What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it. I'm thankful that you're here. Can I help you with something? Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite
he could be
my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose.
I think
much the same way as many of the others.
Okay.
We were among the fortunate. A scuffle broke out, and I woke up. If you like.
Okay. But it makes sense because he might be holding her hostage to make it look like everyone their response has been, if Cynthius can take care of his own daughter. Oh geez, I should have jumped in. I could have just jumped in. Oh well, I have a key. Because I may need.
You're coping. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Galerius just saved my life. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
See, I'm always
My life story. Our father, it was a we must, but I remember.
Okay. So yeah, that's what sucks is that I've already talked to her about it, but since I didn't have the quest from Equity at the time, it must have not have triggered.
All right. Goodbye.
About the coin thing, which is that's my third thing I needed for it. Like I hadn't talked to her to get the quest about.
Arve, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm.
See, like this right here, it's doing what I didn't like that Disco Elysium did, which is like it was bright red if you hadn't asked any questions, and it was dark red if you did. But if there was a branch of dialogue that you didn't ask, you wouldn't know if you did it. Like it would be dark red, even if there was open dialogue somewhere in that, or open questions somewhere in that dialogue. So my suggestion was, and I'm sure the developers were watching my stream, was that it should be bright red if you haven't asked any questions, dark red if you've exhausted the questions, and then a middle red if somewhere is middle red was something that you've mentioned, you've talked to them about it, but something in that branch of dialogue you haven't asked. That's what it should be to me, anyway.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person.
Because what was happening was
What have you noticed?
it made Disco Elysium, which is, it's a, story-driven game with a bunch of talking and dialogue and stuff like that. It made it even longer because you would click on every single thing you've asked them, because I wouldn't remember because I was streaming the same way as this. So, I was like, did I mention that before? Or
Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else? Yeah, what? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I it. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest?
yes, I did. Karen.
And did you happen to catch her name? I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie.
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Oh shit, this gets her. This.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Why not? Damn, okay, I guess. Quick save. I haven't been in here. Oh, I did come in here, but I never came back. Wait. Wait, this is where I... This is similar to the one I fall in through, like that.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means. I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can. That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks. To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
They want to know what this one is. Why there's so few people?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not. No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you. Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Hmm.
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril. Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules. Are you telling me that you can? I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again. It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque. I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Okay.
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room. I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way. It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the Golden Rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried. As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
Oh wait, I think I remember that That one.
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels? Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say? Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? That is strange. There are no rivers here. Let me think on that. Right, because the current flows into the city through the aqueduct and into the upper cistern. I vaguely recall wondering what was in there, but the door at the back of the great temple is locked up tight. You might be able to get a key from the magistrate, but if that doesn't work, perhaps you can find another way in. Let me know if you find anything in there.
Wait, ask Cynthia's.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Jesus.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Save. There it is. There's my F5. Oh, it scared me. Slowpoke.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Too slow. There's...
Greetings and salutations.
Well, I'm here, so I might as well ask. Might as well ask him.
I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you will. And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman now. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plaque you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Dooley. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
He's over here.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Hello. Have we met before? Do you like it? It's shiny, innit? It makes me happy just looking at it. But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad. But it's mine, and I really like it. I want to keep it. Well, if you get me out of here, then I wouldn't need it anymore because I'd already be happy. Then you could have it, and you'd be happy too. Galerius already tried that. He said the
This is...
like... Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have my plaque, and everyone will be happy. Bye-bye.
Jeez. Okay, so does it... There's the plaques. Oh, I forgot. Shit, I needed that. Ash. Wait. Was it?
How'd you do?
I don't think it's this dude. I think it's... That's not her.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think, whatever is...
No, it ain't. It's not him either. Those are great. Where's...
in there.
Wait. Oh, shit. She's the one that... Okay. She's the tavern owner. Go, go, go. Oh, yeah. Looks like I went the long way. Oh my God. Where the hell am I going? Oh. I know I took a wrong turn.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water.
Okay, here we
just
go.
as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come. The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the Forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. They never do. There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. Help me? You cannot help me. I have seen things. A pattern, a terrible pattern. It is better for you if you remain ignorant. Pandora's box must stay closed. I'll say no more. Say it. Speak its name. Then it is true. I was right. I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
I just realized I had somewhere to be. No, I'm not. I'm gonna listen to it, but I'm telling you something right now. Since I started with the drinking out of my Colorado cup, this is a bigger cup, like quite a bit, or not quite a bit. It is bigger than my other cup, which I still drink out of. But it seems like I drink these some bitches so quick. And like literally like 3 of these, 3.5 of these is the pot. That 12 cup shit, that shit ain't right. I mean 12 cups, 12, what cups were they measuring on those? Like little 6 ounce, like teacups? Wait, what? Yes. Has to go to McDonald's late. No, I'm not going to McDonald's. When we went to this is funny. When we went to Costa Rica the first time, when it was a little more, I'm not saying the entire country was Wild West type, but they were a lot more laid back in this area that we stayed, except for the houses, the community. There was a community, and then that was not gated, but it was like there was a guard there. Anyway, most of the English-speaking people, either retirees from Europe or whatever, lived out there. That's where you would rent the house that we stayed in. Anyway, when we were there, our buddy who lives there said, okay, we're going to go to McDonald's. And we're like, McDonald's? What are you talking about? No, we're going to eat something, we want to eat something from this area. And he goes, no, it's just right over here. It's in the... So we went over to it. And man, we started laughing. Of course, we might have been drinking and some other stuff, but we started laughing. It's actually an Irish dude who's moved to Costa Rica who has a restaurant, and it's just outside eating for the most part. It looks like beach cabin houses for the most part, and his name was McDonald's. So they called it McDonald's as a joke. It really had no name. And like a lot of those places in that area, unless you were a local and you knew where to go, you just thought it was a house. I mean, you couldn't tell. But Jared, our buddy who lived there, knew all about the little spots. Anyway, we thought it was hilarious. He's like, yeah, we're going to go to McDonald's. We don't want to go to McDonald's. We want some local eating. We show up there and it's just like, and he started laughing. He was like, oh, I met the guy who owns it's Irish. His name's McDonald's. Sorry, I meant for her to start the poem.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Okay, and I'll be right back because I might as well use the restroom while I'm at it. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me talk to her. Let me quick save. Quick save. Let me talk to her.
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication. What was that? Some kind of joke? If it was, it wasn't funny. I take back what I said.
Okay.
Let's
She's already
just
said
forget
this
that ever
before.
happened, so we can at least do business. Not for a few weeks now. Last time I saw him, he was sitting at a table with Georgius, whispering about some job. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So, naturally, I hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing, and then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. All right. See ya.
So,
You stay away from my money.
is it? What's the time? God dang, man. Okay, I'm assuming I'm gonna probably need that key, but I don't want to trigger anything yet. Hmm. Rufius. Jeez, he was. Which one was he? He was. I should have went up that way, but whatever. I think he's right here. So, standing by the wagon. I don't think that's Rufio. Back out.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
I might try to. Oh, wait. I can tell. Oh, no, I gotta talk.
Much one of these statues is worth on the
I gotta talk to him first. Jeez, she just teleport on me? I don't think this is Rufius, but I can go up to him.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Magistrate. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored.
Oh, I wonder if that's a key, too.
I'm not supposed to be in here. Talk. What business could you possibly have with me? My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much. An intriguing proposition. Go on. Perhaps you're not as silly as those clothes make you look. What makes you say that? You know, I may have the very thing you're looking for. Some time ago, when he still cared for me, he wrote me a love letter. Only, he used the wrong name. Now, addressing one's wife by the wrong name is not unheard of among philandering Romans. But in this case, the name he got wrong was his own. I confronted him about it, and he stammered through some incoherent response. I let it go, eventually, and yet questions have lingered in the back of my mind ever since. But wait a minute. Why exactly are you helping me? To withdraw. Listen, I may not be Penelope to his Ulysses, but to ruin his plans to become a magistrate? You must think me quite mad. I've heard enough. Get out of here at once. Domitius, come quickly. We're being robbed.
Uh-oh. Is he coming? Holy shit. One way to get 2,000. We know we can get 2,000 from there.
Do I need to call Domitius? Get out.
Shit, okay. Well, we screwed that one up. On our way out, though, we need to stop by and grab that key. Or not on our way out. I mean... This is Equities, isn't it? Yeah.
I hope you have a good reason for flouting my weapons ban. We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the Golden Rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened? I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you've sought me out again for a reason. I think it's best if I hang on to it.
Okay, that's what I figured.
You mean to ask, why am I unwilling to trust a newly arrived non-citizen with access to our water supply, the lifeblood of this city? I'm sorry, but that is simply out of the question. Yes, our water supply. From you. I wasn't born yesterday. Poisoning a city's water supply is the oldest trick in the Codex. Quite literally. Aeneas the Tactician wrote a siegecraft manual for military commanders some 300 years ago, recommending the poisoning or pollution of cisterns. And I'm beginning to wonder if the culprit we're looking for might, after all this, be you. Perhaps it was a mistake on my part to place so much trust in you. I'm glad to hear that. Now, was there something else?
I'll ask this, but
You mean Duilius? Releasing him is out of the question, I'm afraid. That man is a liability we simply cannot afford. Perhaps you're not aware he was caught multiple times, sneaking around in places he should not have been. Look, I can see where you're going with this. You think me cruel. I assure you that is not the case. You may not be aware of this, but it was not so long ago, during the Republic, the law of the 12 Tables would have required that he be killed as soon as he was born, owing to his deformities. Here we see to it that he has food, water, and shelter, and most importantly, he is able to continue living. A privilege that would be taken away from all of us were he to be released and commit the crime of trespass. The man has no self-discipline, poor comprehension of what is going on around him, and is an incorrigible rule breaker. I will not jeopardize the lives of my people so that one man can go free. Now, was there something else? Ask then. Now, was there something else you wanted to discuss? Thank you. I'll be waiting here for news.
Okay, who was that? I don't think that was Rufius. Rufius isn't wearing a helmet. This is, yeah. He was standing up here. I don't know what happened to him. Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Wait, that's not what I wanted to look at, though. Oh, I need to tell him. Do that. Yep. That's what I should have done at the beginning. But that's where I was heading. I was heading to the bar. Yep, because it's about that time.
Wow.
Or it's getting close.
Big long bow.
Better watch your step. No idea what you're talking about? Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff,
Okay.
I bet it's worth a fortune.
So it's getting later.
Don't you just love springtime? Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you
Okay,
just...
we know these.
You're... Sisyphus... Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but so, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you, and you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in. Anytime, friend. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this. Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just...
Yeah.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think,
Well,
a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. I hear we have you to thank for saving Julia's life. I'm glad you arrived when you did. What demon or spirit told you about that? You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it? Really? How did you manage that? Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out. Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him. Nice to talk to you.
You're welcome. I'm just solving problems like a Bill Murray. Okay, so, oh, yeah. He's right here.
Greetings and salutations. Hello again, my sartorial friend. What? I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash. Very well, but the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself. For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the Temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest, and yet the next day when I return, the food is missing. The offering, it is symbolic,
What the
you
F
see.
are you doing
It is
here?
never eaten. So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could.
Easy, Anderson.
This guy's a big time asshole.
Hey, what's up, man? Ooh, let's see. You doing all right? Stranger Souls are gonna go shop. Dawn. Thief going on. Doing good. hoping that this doesn't crash. Knock on wood. It's been all right this evening. Yeah, I don't know what was up Friday. Something was not this stream. I'm telling you, I was telling Bim earlier, I'm looking forward to finishing this game and going to the next game so I can see if it's a connection of things or a combination of things or what. But yeah, it was just weird Friday because what was happening is Razer Synapse, the software for all my stuff, for my Razer stuff, basically freaked out because my keyboard I didn't have control over. And then when I closed it out and opened it back up, that's when OBS crashed. And then the game actually didn't crash. Ever since I've started opening it from the launcher and not from the shortcut that was created, it's been going okay. But I'm still but I'm still concerned about Windows 11 and OBS 29 like working together. Because I can honestly say when I was on the like OBS 27 something, whatever it was, in Windows 10, I hardly had any issues.
Don't you just love springtime?
I'm probably gonna go with another like for some reason I don't do it all the time. I did play Black Mesa. But I already installed The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Because when this wasn't working, I thought I was just going to go ahead and go into that one. So I'll probably just go into that one. And then I might go back to the Sherlock series. I'm trying to stretch out my Sherlock one. So they have one coming in. They're doing a remake of one of them. And I plan on playing like, I know they have like 9 or something like for decades, but I'm not going that far back. But I was going to go to one of the ones, I think it's like the 3rd or 4th one in this series, if you were to play it chronologically. Chapter 1's the first one, and then I would have to look it up, but I forgot because I forgot what the actual order is. Anyway, 3rd or 4th one is getting remastered. So I was going to try to stretch them out. And then when the other one gets remastered, I can throw it in there. Because originally I was going to do it like continuously, but then I was like, I might get sick of the Sherlock games. Plus, I wanted to play this one. This one sounded cool. And it has the whole loop thing. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna just play the Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and then I don't know what I'm gonna play. I like on my GLG, you can like put tags on them, and I have like the ones I'm going to play or that are on deck. I call it on deck. To go from there. But I also have a tag that's called streamable. That's all the games I think that are streamable. I will more than likely play, I don't know if you ever heard of Nightingale. I'm looking forward to that one big time. So I might stream that one right when it comes out. Because I know most of the games I do play are kind of older. They're kind of niche. So that one though I might actually play. Someone who'd been drinking.
Nobody entered, and yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabash of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
Oh, and then after that one though, I might have fun and play. I forgot the name of it. I think it's like Chicken Detective or some shit, something crazy. It's like all the stuffs. It's like black and white. It's a noir. It's a detective game, and you're a chicken, I think. But it's like it's not like goofy graphics. It's like really good graphics, but with animal heads. It looks wild. I forgot what it's called though. Something. I don't think it's Chicken Detective though. But anyway, for some reason, my streaming stuff turned into like detective games or like that type of that genre.
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right. I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
Okay. So it's getting late. She's about to call it, I think. This is the gold bow, isn't it? Or is this the gold bow? I shouldn't have picked up that bow. This is the gold bow. So I think I can only have 100 arrows at one time. What the hell?
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Remarkable. Welcome, welcome. May I ask your name? It's a sincere pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what brings you all the way down here? Ah, yes, that cursed thing. I know exactly where it is. I will tell you everything I know, but first, a request. I've been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all else before I die is a good philosophical argument with somebody astute. I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god responsible for the Golden Rule? Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute. Very few come to that realization before their time in the sun is over. Now, will you join me in a friendly Socratic dialogue? Wonderful. Then let me begin with the
Here we
question.
go.
Would you say you know the difference between right and wrong? You are an overthinker too. We're the same then. It is probably why I became a philosopher. But if you struggle with right and wrong normally, then down here with the golden rule, surely your struggle can only have become more difficult. Well, that's reassuring. And the truth is, you're not alone. You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable, because our mistakes rarely had consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain about the difference between right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree? That is an excellent question, and it leads directly to my next line of inquiry. So let me ask you this. Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct, which you could follow in every situation and always do the right thing?
Is there one system of morality which is always perfectly correct? I don't think so.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't figured out the right system yet? After hundreds of years, and as many great thinkers dedicating their lives to these questions, what hope do we have if our best and brightest haven't been able to answer them? My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
You would say that like right off the bat, but then I guess
if there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector. And life under tyranny is no utopia at all. I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you for humoring an old man. I would be happy to answer your questions. You mean, how did I end up living alone in this cave with nothing but these relics of the past for company? It's a long story. I was a quarrelsome young man. At 19, I left Corinth for Rome to study rhetoric at one of her finest academies, so I could argue more forcefully. Back then, I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could, and I was good. One night, I found myself in a tavern, in an argument with a drunk mercenary. It became heated, he drew a gladius, and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground. Fortunately, I found this place waiting for me. You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny. They are one and the same. The Romans call him Pluto, but long before that, my people called him Hades. My generation was wiped out, turned to gold, many years ago. My friends and I were able to avoid the same fate by hiding down here. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, Hades would realize that his furies hadn't finished the job, and he'd send them after me again. I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, even by mistake, that Hades would hear you and know I am still alive. I'm afraid I am the only one left. There were 12 of us in the beginning, but one by one, my friends passed away. Some from malnutrition, others from madness and despair. It has been lonely. Before my unexpected visit from Kabash some weeks ago, I'd not seen another person in many, many years. Living in darkness is not without its challenges. The first challenge is diet. Fortunately, I found that eating fresh fish provides most of the nutrients I need. And sometimes, when there are Greek people living up above, I surface at night and salvage the offerings they've left in the temple of Demeter. The greater challenge is the isolation, so I like to imagine arguments, where I argue both sides. But, like so many things in life, arguments are better with a partner. As you wish. Ha! If I did, would I be living like this?
I don't know why I asked that anyway.
Did we not discuss it at length already? Oh, I see. You're toying with me. Ha! You seek the plaque bearing the Egyptian inscription. It is a cursed object, and I would be happy to give it to you, if Kabash had not already taken it. I will tell you, but you may find him hostile. To prepare for your encounter, there are certain things you must know. Very few know this, but before the Romans came to this city, it was once entirely Greek. The architecture, the temples, and the people. When the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over everything that could be built over, and renamed the things that could not. Thus, the Shrine of Persephone became the Shrine of Proserpina. And when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans. However, there was one thing that always seemed out of place to me, and it is the very thing you seek. An even older plaque bearing an Egyptian inscription. We had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends began to die. As a result of their deaths, we began to dig catacombs branching off from this cavern to lay them to rest. We extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered another, an even older tunnel, which somebody had gone to great lengths to keep hidden. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out-of-place Egyptian plaque among our people's possessions. You see, we proud Greeks had thought the Romans beasts for stealing and corrupting our heritage. But it turns out this game has been going on much longer than any of us imagined. I think it is best you head through the catacombs and follow Kabash's trail. There are certain things you must see for yourself. Take this key. You'll need it to open the gate. I enjoyed our chat, but please, keep my presence here a secret, yes?
All right, Bim. I appreciate you stopping by, man, and I'll see you Tuesday. If you decide to hang out Tuesday.
Ah, you've returned.
Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna play, or stream, I should say. I'll probably play for a little bit more. I might try to make my way down here just to kind of see. So it's that. That's all I'm gonna be running this. Oh, got it. What the? Me and Bim had just talked about it. Yeah, I unfortunately unfortunately, Anderson, I was just mentioning this to Bim, like the teams I rooted for when I was younger, like I was a big Houston Oilers fan, so there is no Houston Oilers, and even though I tried to, I mean, I did root for the Texans and I liked them and stuff, but it was never the same feeling that, you know, I never liked them as much as I liked the Oilers. So once I stopped playing fantasy football, it was just like I didn't really care that much, to be honest. Really, it was. Hey, yeah. Actually, my brother still does. He would have a Super Bowl party, and we would, and this is no joke, we would hardly even pay attention. We would shoot dice. You know, we'd eat, drink, and then watch the commercials when they came on. I mean, it really depended on what football team was playing, but majority of the time we didn't even pay attention. We went there just mainly to eat and drink and throw dice. Oh my God, this is huge. Okay, I might stop here. There's no zoom to it. God, that is a lot of them. Okay, I think I'm gonna save it here, and then they turn into gold. They turn into this. They turn golden. They do this. This is my one for this game. I wonder why that. It might be the lights. It seemed like it was a lot more golden color last time. Yeah, if you create or if someone makes a sin, then the archers will come out and start shooting all the people that are left into these. And so all these people supposedly is from previous states, or it's previous I guess levels of when it's happened to them. Like I guess generations, but I don't know if generations be the right term. So yeah, it turns them, but that's kind of the mystery of what you're trying to figure out. But supposedly, like if you hear, see how she just moved and and then like some of them will tell you that was not. They all, or majority of them will look at you though. What's this? What is this? Okay, so that was a smart move. Oh, I get it. This is during the Egyptian time. Oh, well, I'm not sure what you mean. They do, majority of them do, if you hear that. Hang on one second. Let me get to one maybe. Listen. Hang on. Let me get to another one. I don't want to draw their aggro. This one does it. So watch. I was over to her left. And listen, you can hear the you know, like the dragging of it. Listen, watch. I'll try to do it and not say anything. And then I'll point it to where they do this even if you're not looking. Oh shit, I didn't know they do it when you're not looking. So when you go to turn and look at them, they... Now watch. You hear it? But if I stay looking at her, she won't switch until... Oh shit. Okay. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, you can. I probably don't. I probably don't have the sound up high enough. You might not be able to hear it unless you're wearing headphones. But yeah, it's really creepy too because it makes it like it does. Can you hear it? Okay. Okay. I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save it here. I'll save it here. I'm walking across that platform. So this is the Egyptians that were running the same story, I guess. Or same. Yeah. All right. New save. I'm gonna go ahead and end it for tonight on that. And I'll just continue it Tuesday. But I appreciate Anderson. I appreciate you stopping by again. I'll continue it Tuesday. I don't really have anyone. I mean, I don't have anyone, but I mean, also, since I'm still fairly new, I mean, Scrub J is the only one that I know that actually, that I know that raids, like, has raided me. But I haven't done it long enough to where, you know, don't really know anyone. But again, thanks for stopping by, Anderson. Yeah, I'll see you Tuesday, man. I appreciate you hanging out again. Take it easy. I'm out of here. Adios, amigos. See y'all later.